Thank you so much. And thanks for the opportunity to be here. Yeah, this is where I usually say welcome from sunny Colorado, but the sun won't be up for another 45 minutes so here. So it's great to be with everyone virtually. My name is Brian Sponsler, and I have the privilege of serving as the Vice President of Policy for Education Commission of the States. I've been thinking a lot over the past week about how to open this morning's conference and what I wanted to say. And at first I thought, it's coffee and orange juice time. Folks are just getting the day going. We'll keep it light. I can be funny, tell a couple jokes, and we'll get started on the right foot. And, what I think of when I think of that is that's the pre-COVID opening remarks, right? And then I thought, no, that doesn't feel right to me. That doesn't feel authentic or like enough, quite frankly, as a way to convey the appreciation and awe that I feel for the Ohio Strong Start to Finish team and the work that you are doing, the work that we're seeing across the country from all of our Strong Start to Finish sites. At this extraordinary moment in time, under these circumstances, the things that are still getting done in the name of reform for students is really, truly extraordinary. When I reflect on the things that we've done together in the face of challenges over the last 8 months, under these circumstances and what we've faced, I think of one word: uncertainty. Uncertainty. We're facing uncertainty in so many places right now, as individuals, as professionals, as institutions, and as a country. We're facing uncertainty in our political lives and our politics. We have a small event in early November, and no matter your politics or the preferences you have, from city council races to local bond measures, state races, congressional races, and certainly the presidential contest, we are unsure. We're uncertain about how things are going to turn out, about who will win, about what will happen, about how we will respond, and how our fellow neighbors and citizens in our communities will respond. We just don't know. And we also face uncertainty in our public health conditions. How will the pandemic continue to unfold and take shape as winter approaches? Will we get a vaccine developed quickly? Will it work? Will people take it? When can we return to collective in-person celebrations? When can we hug a friend or a family member that we haven't seen for far too long? Or walk into a grocery store without hesitating before we grab a cart, or being afraid of hovering too long in the vegetable aisle? We don't know the answers to these questions either. And we're facing a troubling financial environment where we're uncertain about both the short-term and long-term fiscal and budget conditions that will be afflicting our families, our communities, our state budgets, and our funding for higher education. It's unclear where we're going to be in 1 quarter or 2 quarters or 4 quarters. We just don't know. Uncertainty. These things are swirling together in dizzying ways. And they're here with us as individuals as we come together as a community to begin this conference. And I just want to acknowledge that. For me, at times, this has all stacked up on itself, and it has felt like way too much. And I'm guessing for most of you at some point, whether it's in the last 8 months, the last 8 weeks, or perhaps even in the last 8 hours, it has felt that way too. And it's felt that way for our students. And yet, in spite of all this uncertainty, somewhere, or multiple somewheres, a mother, a father, a young veteran, a returning adult learner, people are coming from all walks of life. They are showing up and logging onto our campuses and making the choice to try again, to push on for another day, in spite of what's happening around them, and to participate in and claim their educational futures. And you all, in one form or another, you are showing up with them. You show up with them. Come pandemic, or threats of funding cuts, or personal life pressures and stresses that I know we are all facing, you've showed up too. And it is remarkable. And we at Education Commission of the States and Strong Start to Finish, our teams, we've show up with you too. In this case, I showed up pretty early to be with you. But we show up with you because we all believe in the transformative power of education, to change for the better the lives of individuals and the trajectory of entire communities. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you. Thank you to the Ohio Strong Start to Finish teams, the Chancellor for his leadership, and friends of this network that continue to push on and show up for students during difficult and challenging times. Because you see, that's what we are all about at Strong Start to Finish. We're all about jumping up and supporting those that are doing the work. At ECS and within our Strong Start to Finish team, we believe deeply in the power of learning from experience. Every day, we provide education leaders and practitioners with opportunities to engage, unbiased information, and to explore unique collaborations. We do this because we know that when policymakers and education leaders are informed, they create better education policy and improve professional practice. And this convening and the broader work of Ohio Strong Start to Finish is a wonderful example of our effort to support states and systems as they develop and implement better policy and practice to get the student outcomes they're driving towards. And as we collaborate and continue to do our work together in this uncertain environment I sketched out, as we come together over the next 2 days, as you show up here for each other, I have 3 suggestions for you to keep top of mind as we keep doing this work together. Suggestion 1, remain committed to a student-centered, people-driven, impact-focused approach. The Ohio Strong Start to Finish governance team is made up of university and college leaders in collaboration with the Department of Higher Education. Together, you've developed goals that we're able to support. You, like all your Strong Start to Finish site colleagues, you know your campuses, your cultures, the barriers to do things differently, the players you have to get on board to drive durable change, and you know how to avoid the pitfalls. And you've designed plans around this collective knowledge, plans that are putting students at the center of your efforts, that focus on the people engaged in the complex enterprise of learning, and that are grounded in a commitment to measurement and assessment of progress that supports a deeper understanding of the impact you're making on students at the institution level and system-wide. And as we move through these uncertain times, I really hope that you can remain committed to this approach of doing the work. It's critical that we stay true to this underlying philosophy that has guided Strong Start to Finish since its inception. Put students first. My second suggestion is to maintain the community of leading and learning that has been created since Strong Start to Finish Ohio launched. You know, in this Zoom room, we have teams from across Ohio who have created collective impact through cross-institutional implementation forum groups that are moving the entire state and system forward. You are more than just one institution who got one grant to do a few things. You are actively participating in systems change, of structures, of professional norms, of engagements with students and colleagues within your institution and across the state. And certainly, we hope you feel as part of a network of national providers and colleagues in our other scaling and strategy sites who are doing similar work. You know, we need to maintain this focus as a community on both leading and learning. And we need to maintain it in these uncertain times when it can be easy to think of individuals or your department or some smaller unit of change that you feel more in control over or that you can manage. It's understandable to think this way, but we have to be focused on the value we can create for each other and with each other in a networked community. Which brings me to my last suggestion. Keep thinking at scale. As you navigate these uncertain times and remain committed to students and this learning community we've created, it's equally important that we all keep scale as the foundation of our work together. The evidence is too strong for us to do otherwise. This requires, as we are seeing across Ohio Strong Start to Finish in the work you're doing, shifts in institutional policy and a recalibration of individual practice so that our cultures are embedded in a norm that every student who shows up at our campuses should and will benefit from the reforms being implemented through this initiative. We know, and the research shows, that only a few select students ever benefit from pilot programs. That was the whole premise of why Strong Start to Finish was launched almost 3 years ago. We know that we can build on our successes across whole systems and support students through changes in practice and policy, like those changes we've seen Ohio undergo in the past 30 months. But we have to be vigilant about this. We cannot take it for granted. As we navigate uncertain times, as we face the uncertainty I mentioned at the top, as our students come to us with unique challenges, and we do what those of us engaged in higher education so often do, which is find the workaround, find the exception, help the student that's in your office or in your classroom. We're going to do these things. That's fine. That's embedded in who we are to serve students. But we have to be mindful that as we do that, we must continue to keep our eye on the ball towards serving our entire institution and all students at scale, and not just hunkering down and addressing the immediate needs and problems that are in front of us. One of the things we've seen over the last 6 months is a deep commitment by the Strong Start to Finish scaling site leadership to maintain this focus on scale. We so appreciate it, and it is critical. It is our collective work to make sure that we are continuing the transformation in mindset about how we roll out reforms in this space. You know, change is hard, and change at scale can be even harder. But in these times, we have to remain committed to do it and maintain a thinking systematically and holistically about our work. And we can do this. You know, we can do this for all students. So I challenge you to take to heart these suggestions, to consider how you can continue to meet the needs of our campuses and the students that you work with in the coming months, as uncertain as they may be. To focus together on these uncertain times and to keep showing up for one another. Please keep showing up. We're here to help. We will keep showing up with you, and know how deeply honored I and the entire Strong Start to Finish team are to be able to support your work and to learn alongside you. I hope you have a great few days of conferencing. The program looks excellent, and thank you again for the opportunity to offer a few opening remarks this morning.